Hello, Smurf fans out there. This is your cameraman, Daniel Dubsky, for this a very new update video for the for my Smurfs VHSs and DVD collections. And you know, I haven't been doing this series in a long time on my channel with the when I have the collections of VHSs, DVDs, and beta tapes. That was the side I just did. The last video I did was back 6 months ago when I did the Bowery Boys DVD collection. Yeah. These are all my Smurfs VHSs and DVDs. And I do got like 5 copies of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. And before we start, here's a little history about the Smurfs. The Smurfs started in 1958 when they made a debut in a Johan and Peewit book in 1958. And that's how Smurfs became history since then. And then ever since then, Smurfs were doing like some kind of like a different versions of it during the 60s in black and white. Then they made a feature-length Smurf and the Magic Flute in Europe with the UK in 1976. Then the Hanna-Barbera Smurfs lasted from 1981 to 1989, about 9 seasons by Hanna-Barbera. Then, like, they just reboot the Smurfs in 2011 with the 2 live actions starring Hank Azaria as Gargamel. Yeah, and the second one in 2013, and the third one was the Lost Village in 2017. And then by 2021, Nickelodeon reboot the all brand new Smurfs. Yeah. The Smurfs were popular during the 1980s. Yeah, throughout the Payos era and Hanna-Barbera. Yep. So let's get smurfing with these Smurf titles that I have on VHSs and DVDs. Let's start with 5 different copies of Smurfs and the Magic Flute. Originally, Smurfs and the Magic Flute first came out on VHS was back in 1983 by Vestron Video. And you know, in 5 of these copies of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute has like instead of calling it Johan, they call it John, as in John and Peewit. And Smurf and the Magic Flute on this copy of VHS is the 83 original, and it has the Atlantic Releasing Corporation logo for starting up the film. Yep, here's a vertical label. This is an ex-rental of this Smurf movie. I liked Smurfs and the Magic Flute very much when I was late 9 years old. When I first started liking the Smurfs, I was only about 9. When it was on the Cartoon Network, when I stayed home from school one time back in November, that's how I discovered the Smurfs. And here's another copy of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. It has Atlantic Releasing Corporation, and sorry about the box, it's like a little bit damaged. But hey, put it to you this way, this is a collector's item. Here's another copy of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute, and its vertical label. Someone must have wrote it on there. Printed it on March 10th, 1984. That's got to be an early 84 reprint. Feel the wind out there, yeah. Here's the third copy of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. I just got this recently off on eBay with these other eBay items. And it has the world's best loved cartoon characters in their first feature film, Smurfalific. And you know, when the Smurfs and the Magic Flute aired on television was back in 1984 and was on Showtime. And by 1985, Smurfs and the Magic Flute was aired on WPIX 11. Instead of calling it John, they're calling it Johan instead. And after the jousting scene in the WPIX version, they had when the Smurfs were showing around like the village. I mean, like when they're having a party. That was originally in the middle of the film, but they put it earlier, right on the film when it was syndicated. It looks so brand new copy. This definitely looks brand new. So here's the 4th copy of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute, and this is the 83 packaging. And I had this copy since 2011 when I got it off on eBay. And the opening of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute It doesn't have Atlantic Release Incorporation. It was replaced by First Performance Pictures logo. Doesn't bother me. This copy of Smurf and the Magic Flute was printed on November 12th, 1985. That's got to be 84 tape reprint. By 1987, Smurfs and the Magic Flute was reissued when they made it to a 43-minute version. They cut everything out in that version when when they have it in the special edition. I hated that copy. And here's the 5th copy of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. There's the 83 packaging by Vestron Video. Yeah, with a music by Academy Award winner Michael Landon, and of course all your favorites, the Smurfs, like the Smurfs and the Magic Flute, will delight your family again and again. Smurf and the Magic Flute is a sensational addition to your family home video library. Yep. And all these 3 copies has it in the U.S. dialogue. This is the 1989 reissue or a reprint copy of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. They had not the 1983 warning screen. They replaced it with the 84 warning screen, and then in the Vestron Video from 1989. Yeah, the one I watch all the time from the Dirty Dancing VHS, or the original Little Shop of Horrors colorized. Yeah. In the early 1990s, Smurfs and the Magic Flute was reissued in Video Treasures. By the time I was when Restaurant Video went out of business. Here's some Smurfs 2 volumes releases by World Vision Home Video in 1987. These Smurf episodes were taken from season 4 of the Smurfs. The only ones we have here is Gargamel's Giant. That's the one with Gargamel makes his giant so he can destroy the Smurf village, but instead they use like Smurf berries instead of choke cherries. And then we got Smurficating Machine, the one with Gargamel makes 6 brainies. That was a bit annoying. A Pussy Willow Pixies, the one with Clumsy gets lost in the Pussy Willow Hollow and the rescues into the on-Smurf-like danger like they were like evil warmongers. Then we got the whole Smurf and Nothing But the Smurf, the Man in the Moon, and the Gracie of the Crow Castle. And that's about the other. And then the 7th episode, the one with the wishing well. Yeah, this is from World Vision in 1987. And these Smurf episodes on those VHS tapes were kindly reissued in Kids Classics in 1988 when it was owned by Good Times Distribution. Here's a 2nd volume called Smurfs Village Tales. This was released in 1987 by World Vision Home Video and Hanna-Barbera Productions. More episodes in Season 4. Did you know the Smurfs won 2 Emmy Awards? One in 1982 and 1983. We're going to start with Symbol of Wisdom. That was the one with Brainy wants to be like another Papa Smurf, and then Gargamel has a bigger beard. I love that one. Jokey Shadows. There's the one with the shadow. That's the one that Jokey has a shadow. Has been taking the shadow away. Then we got the Secret Shadow Swamp. The one when Grouchy wanders into the swamp area. Gargamel's Misfortune with the Fortune Teller. Then we got Never Smurf Off Till Tomorrow, when the Smurfs were having a difficulty with the village when they're having a hurricane and then their windmill blew away. That was Lazy's responsibility, and they blamed everything on Lazy. And finally, we got here Incredible Shrinking Wizard, referring to Incredible Shrinking Man, Incredible Shrinking Woman. The one where Gargamel gets smaller and smaller. This was, and you know the Smurf tape, I rent this out once when I was at Blockbuster Video in Junction Boulevard in 1994, when it was the wrong Smurf tape of the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. But in my childhood years, I used to rent out Smurfs and the Magic Flute a lot, specifically about 12 times in 1994. I think I rented it out the first time in May in '94 when I had nothing to rent out. Then I rented it out again in July, about 3 times in July, about 4 times in August, about 3 times in September, and also in 1994, that same year, I want to own the Smurfs and the Magic Flute when I was at the Blockbuster Video on 73rd and Casino Boulevard. I was exactly near the old tape, so by that day, all of a sudden, the tape of Smurfs and the Magic Flute didn't punch it in. So that's why I went back to the old tape store that's right near from there. That was at the time I used to rent out that Smurf film with the Magic Flute at the old tape store on Casino Boulevard and the early days of Blockbuster Video in Whitestone. And you know, I'm really 100% Smurf fan. Yeah. And here's the Hanna-Barbera home video release of Baby's First Christmas, taken from Hanna-Barbera's Command Performance Collection. This was recorded on EP. And this episode was from Season 3 of the Smurfs, with Baby Smurf's debut. And it comes with the Flintstones Kids episode on there. 1990 release. And I'm sorry about the sticker label fall off. Just fixing the tape. Had to put some spit on it. Your water. No print date on it, huh? Smurf. This is really having a Smurfy time because I am a Smurf fan for about 30 years. And here's the Smurfs and the Magic Flute DVD. I just got it back in 2022 off on eBay. I used to have the Smurfs and the Magic Flute DVD that was made from the DVD recorder. I got it off on eBay in 2003. So I got this copy. This is the Canadian copy. This is released from Telvista Incorporated in 2008. The original 74 US version. And I checked this DVD out, and you know, for the character for Johan and Peewit, instead of calling it John, they just recall it Johan instead. And the voice of Papa Smurf didn't use Mike Randall's voice, they used the other voice of Papa Smurf. That's got to be from the WPIX version of it. But long as this Smurfs and the Magic Flute DVD I have right here, this is not a 43-minute editing version. I hated that version. I like the 74 original uncut version, but soon I might be getting Smurfs and the Magic Flute like the UK version on DVD. That was gotta be from Australia or something. Or if I ever find it in one of those the US DVDs with the UK dialogues, I'll be very happy to have that collection into my Smurfs collection. And now we got Smurf episodes came out on DVD. It all started in 2008 when Warner Home Video release of Smurf episodes. They came to DVD. By that time, when the Smurfs were added on Boomerang, the syndicated ones. Let's start with Smurf Season 1, Volume 1. That came out in early 2008. It has the first 19 cartoons and on these 2 discs. And this is the first season of like the Smurfs. I had to get this back then to add to my Smurfs DVD collection. Yep, I got this back in March. It was a pretty good promotion. On this DVD it has some episodes like The Parent Smurf, The Smurfette, and Vanity Fair. Then we got The King Smurf, The Astral Smurf, Jokey's Medicine. Then we got the Sir Smurf and the Dragon, Sorcerer Smurf, and Smurfs and the Howling Bird. Then on disc 2 we got Magical Meanie with the genie in there. Bewitched, Be Bothered, Be Smurf, the one with Hoggifer made her debut. Smurf color glasses, the one with Handy gives Smurfette the color glasses until Gargamel kidnap her from like that wind. And then Dreamy's Nightmare. Then Fuzzy Trouble, Soup Lotta Smurf with Big Mouth made his debut. That's my dad's favorite Smurf character. As for me, I love Johan and Peewit. All That Gentles Isn't Smurf, Romeo and Smurfette, The 100th Smurf, and the Smurf Symphony in C. And here's a bonus we got. The Smurf Springtime Special from 1982. The one with Gargamel changed from spring back to winter, and he kidnapped Mother Nature. Holy crap. And Gargamel's godfather, Balthazar, made his debut. And it comes with the Smurfs music video on there. That's pretty good to add to my Smurfs DVD collection. And here's another one called Smurfs Season 1, Volume 2. That came out around October of 2008. See more Smurfific episodes from Season 1. That is like the other half. Has 20 more episodes on there. Here's what the DVD looks like in this collection. On this one we have the Magic 8, Smurfette's Dancing Shoes, Super Smurf with Baby Smurf with Gargamel as Baby Smurf in a disguise. The fake Smurf, the one with Hagafur, has to become like a Smurf to destroy the village. The one she squawks like a pig. Paradise Smurf did. Sir Hefty, the one with Sir Hefty battles the dragon. The Purple Smurfs, the 100th Smurf, Sideshow Smurfs, and then we got more like Magnificent Mixin', the one with Brainy accidentally get rid of that stuff, and he drops one on Hefty when he got bigger and bigger. And that was all Brainy's fault for that. And then we got the Full Weather Smurf, Painter and Poet, the Unbottable Snow Beast, Gargamel the Generous, Now You Smurf 'em, Now You Don't, the Fountain of Smurf, the one with when Papa Smurf accidentally drank the Fountain of Youth, then he became a young Smurf. Holy crap. That's one of my first episodes I saw when I had that on VHS in a Smurfathon in 1994. I still have it with me. I still keep it as a generation. Sparkling Smurfs, a Clockwork Smurf, the one with Handy invents Clockwork Smurf, and then he comes back to life, and he meets King Gerard for the first time when he was locked up in the dungeon by her cousin. And that's how Gerard became king. Then we got Smurf and the Money Tree, and finally, I Smurf the Smurfs, Memories of the Original Smurf Era. They're created and the lasting impact they made. That was part of their bonuses in the Smurfs DVD. And back in 2009, I was hoping for more Smurfs DVD seasons, but it didn't make no Season 2, Volume 1 or Volume 2. And then let's start with this, and then we have to go. They had to do with the putting 5 Smurfs episodes on one of those individual DVDs. Some of them are syndicated, some of them were just uncut and just like remastered. Let's start with Smurfs Volume 1 with True Blue Friends from Season 2. Then we got Ciphering S Smurf, Turncoat Smurf, the Smurf who couldn't say no, the one has to take the fire out of the swamp. Here's my 2 favorite episodes on there. 2 with Johan and Peewit, like The Haunted Castle and The Black Hellebar. This is an early 2009 DVD release. Here's what the DVD looks like. Smurfalific. And I wish they released more Smurf episodes on DVD. Here's Smurfy Tales, came out mid-2009, like around in the summer. Yep. On this DVD we have The Last Laugh, The Amazing Smurf, The Lost City of York. They have the syndicated version on this DVD when it was from the Cartoon Network. There's my favorite Smurf episode on this disc that has Johan and Peewit in Johan's army. And The Good, the Bad, and the Smurfy, the one with that wizard kidnaps the Smurfs and brings it into the king's castle. Yeah, by accident. Now, I'm not talking about Gargamel, I'm talking about the other wizard. Here's what this DVD looks like. Smurfy. And here's the third Smurfs DVD release. Came out late 2009. That is The World of Wonders. Here's Sleepwalking Smurf. Here's the Littlest Giant, the one with the giant. The kid named Simon got lost. He enters into the village, been kidnapped by Gargamel to use him to hypnotize Simon to destroy the village. Gargamel used him. That was my very first Smurf episode I saw back when I was 9 years old, when I stayed home from school that time. Then we got Squeaky with Smurfette's pet mouse friend. The Sorcery of Montefiore, that's also had Johan and Peewit, and that was the one with Johan and Peewit has to stop the Baron Montefiore by marrying like the Prince Charming's girl. When the Prince Charming turns into a dog by that villain when he speaks. That was a good one. All Smurfy that ends Smurfy. The one where Gargamel goes into that tree and he goes to Fairyland. How you like that? This is the late 2009 release, and then by 2010 they didn't make any more Smurfs DVD releases. But here's the one that came out 2011, by the time when the Smurfs movie came out in theaters. That is, the Smurfs, A Magical Smurf Adventure, only had 10 episodes on those 2 DVDs. On this DVD we have on disc 1, Smurf Van Winkle, The Revenge of the Smurfs. The magic fountain that had Johan and Peewit in it, the one they went to like that, the one that got shipwrecked and went into the island, and they had to get the fountain water so they can make these men stronger by those villains. And I like the climax in that episode when the giant, when Johan and Peewit trying to stop that giant, that was taken in one of those Johan and Peewit French books from the 50s. It was adapted to the episode. Smurf Me No Flower, and there's the first Johan and Peewit Smurf episode in Season 2, The Cursed Country. And this version of The Cursed Country, it was a syndicated version. I was hoping for to have the uncut version, instead I'm stuck with a syndicated one. I have the syndicated version on VHS. I taped it off the Cartoon Network or Boomerang back in 1999 or 2002. Believe you me, I've been a Smurfologist for so long. And that's why in the future, I was hoping for I had like more Smurfs episodes out on DVD in the US. And now we got the Blue Plague. Here's another Johan and Peewit Smurf episode, The Ring of Castellad. Yeah, the one with the one with the Duke was been hypnotized by Asselin. And also, it's up to Johan and Peewit to get the parchment when they had to go to Sir Hercules' castle, try to get those parchments out of his strong box. It's up to the Smurfs to do it when Johan and Peewit try to distract them by playing the harp. And then we have more Truffles, the Generous Greedy, the one who was on diet, and Sister Smurf. Sister Smurf, also on this DVD, is a syndicated version. I wish it was all the uncut versions more often. I wish they do like the complete second season. I want more of the Johan and Peewit ones on DVD. And here's the 7th Smurfs DVD release. Came out in late 2011, and it's a Smurfs holiday celebration. It only had 2 specials. On this DVD, it has the Smurfs Christmas Special from 1982, the one with the stranger kidnap Glenamere and William, and it also had associated with Gargamel in it. It's up to the Smurfs to stop that villain. And there's a season to be Smurfy, the second Smurfs Christmas Special. And that was in 1987 when they had with Grandpa Smurf. They're voiced by Jonathan Winters. Where they had with Sassat, Net, Slouchy, and Snappy. Here's what the DVD looks like. Smurflipic. Humma, humma, humma. And here's the 8 Smurfs DVD release. Came out in 2013. Well, at the time when the Smurfs movie 2 came out in theaters, that is, the Smurfs to the Rescue, has 6 episodes on there. 5 from season 2 and 1 previous from season 1. On this DVD, it has the Goblin of Boulder Woods that had Johan and Peewit in it. In this one, Johan and Peewit tells about the Smurfs, about when he first met Peewit in the Boulder Woods. Yeah, when Peewit was being like a goblin, and then it has a climax of the circumstances when Peewit was accused for kidnapping the king's niece, Princess Sabrina. And also they had to find the culprit, who was the one who framed Peewit for kidnapping the king's niece. It was the villain, Walter Cat. He was the villain behind all this. And mostly, the Smurfs were not even that much in that episode, but it was mostly a flashback with Johan and Peewit. In this one, also Goblin of Boulder Woods was adapted from the book called The Goblin of Rocky Woods, when Peewit made his debut in 1954. Then we have Sideshow Smurf that was reissued from Smurf Season 1, Volume 2. The 3 Smurfeteers, It Came from Outer Smurf, One Good Disturbs the Smurf, The Sky is Smurfing, The Sky is Smurfing, the one with the volcano like destroys the village. Here's what this DVD looks like. Yeah. And then during the mid-2000s, Warner Home Video released more of the Smurf episodes in Season 1. I didn't want to get all of them, but I wish I was going to get more of the Season 2. Ever since then, they haven't had any updates of those new Smurfs DVD releases. And we got 2 Smurf live-action films. That is Smurfs 1 in 2011. The one with Hankus Aris Gargamel and Patrick Neil Harris. The late 2011 release by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. This is made by Columbia Pictures. This is when the Smurfs end up in New York City. Yeah. The great Hankus Aris plays the role of Gargamel. And here's Smurfs Movie 2 that came out 2 years later in 2013. And this time, instead of being in New York, mostly was in Paris, when Gargamel's doing some more magic shows in Paris. And also Smurfettes being a bad girl in there. Yeah, and this DVD came out in late 2013 by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. It is Smurftacular Blue Has Never Looked Better by Terry Holt by the TMN, the Family Channel. Here's what this DVD looks like. That was out the same times with the Blu-ray. So I'll see you for the second part of my Smurfs VHSs and DVD updates. Now I'll see you like a little bit later for the other video. Take care and keep on smurfing. La 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 la.